Be you hooked to me vlog yet? It's vlog day 976 of her.
Good morning. It's Tuesday in Paris and I'm going to go for a long bike ride with my buddy Christian. Actually, there are two things that are happening today, two very distinct and unique experiences for me today. I'm going to be recreating the route that I've done a couple of times by metro, but I wanted to show you how to do it by bike as well if you are ever interested in renting a bike while you're in Paris. And Christian's going to share a couple of tips and pointers about staying safe while riding your bike in Paris. There are a couple of tricks, rules, and laws that make your time a lot more pleasant while you're riding. And then this evening, I don't know if you remember the Oh My Milk extravaganza. It barely made it in my vlog really, but it was quite the experience. Put on by the milk and cheese producers of France. I got to go eat a crap ton of cheese. It was some of the best cheese of my life. And they've invited me for like a private dinner tonight, and that I'm super excited about. So I'm gonna earn my delicious private chef dinner by burning a whole bunch of calories on a bike today. That's the summary. But first we need to ingest a few calories, so let's start off with some coffee and a waffle, because that sounds delicious. Right where I left you. Are you ready, Christian?
I'm ready.
For the ride of your life? If you don't know Christian already, Christian is one of the proprietors of the Peloton and Bike About Tours. They rent bikes. They have a grand old time, but Christian's also the expert as far as everything goes when it comes to biking in Paris. Christian, is it safe to bike in Paris?
Well, we get asked that question a lot. We say yes. It's a great city for biking. 100 miles of bike lanes. It is a great city, but you'll see.
If we don't survive the trip, then that'll answer the question right away. Got it, that's fine. We forgot to start right away, but if you want to recreate the route we're gonna do today, we'll link to Christian's map of this when it's all over. This is going to be a double bike lane? So they're always adding more and doing construction, but they're doing a massive bike lane on both sides of the river right now. Speaking of safety and riding along the river, so we'll follow this mini tour here for a second. Look at the size of this bike lane. Holy cow. Oh man. The cars will hate it. Just don't drive a car in Paris. That's the answer. All right, stop one. We've made it to Notre Dame. The main takeaway is that they're building a huge bike lane. They're doing one here. Where else are they doing one?
On the big Rue de Rivoli, so like east and west, you have all these ways to get around.
It's fantastic. It's like a bus-sized lane for bikes. So they're making a lot of efforts. That construction will hopefully be done in the next month or so, I would guess.
Yeah, I'd say so.
They're getting really close, but we'll see how long it takes them to do the whole length of I have no idea how far it's going to go. Taking a quick ride across Pont Neuf here. That construction goes all the way to here, and my assessment that it might only take a month might have been a little bit generous. Looks like they've got a ways to go. Yeah, smooth. It's a notable difference when you go from cobblestone to fresh asphalt. Wow, it's nice. We're taking a little bit of a loop away from the river so we can get to the Louvre. We'll ride through the Louvre and then we're gonna head over towards the Eiffel Tower along the river. That's the plan at least. Normally we would actually have entered through the Cour Carrée, the square court here, but they had the main entrance blocked off for construction, and they might still be taking apart whatever they had in here for Fashion Week. We'll see. Follow Christian, he knows. Why is this one of your favorites?
It's kind of quiet, and I think when most people come to the Louvre, they don't always wander back here, so
it's a little bit less crowded.
Calm
and usually doesn't have a giant catwalk on it that you... Not a bad view.
Dramatic soundtrack.
Oh boy, one-handed. Ah, couldn't do it. The nice thing is that now that we're down by the river, we can ride all the way to the Eiffel Tower from the Louvre along the river. It's well paved, generally smooth. It's just a nice ride. I love riding along the river. There's a nightclub under here.
It's on the other side as well.
One hot tip for Americans, if you're unaware, you can't turn right on red when you're driving in France, or anywhere in Europe really, and that holds true for bikes too, but Christian has a hack for you.
There you go. So this isn't the case at all traffic lights, but you do have these signs on some of them, so keep your eye out for these. When you have these, you can do what they say. You can turn right sometimes on red.
So in this instance, when this light is red here, we can actually go through because it says we've got that straight arrow. So we can just be safe, obviously yield. That's the triangle to oncoming traffic, but you can just go through if you're on a bike. It's fantastic, because otherwise you just sit around waiting for traffic lights all the time, and that sucks. Anyways, we're almost at the Eiffel Tower, which can you see it behind me? Oh, it's hiding. You can just barely see the antenna right here. We're almost to the Eiffel Tower. Not too shabby. I'll take it. This is actually, if you go back and you look at one of my videos on, like, I think it's like the 5 great photo spots of the Eiffel Tower, there's one that's right near here. Hard to beat. When was the last time you were at the Eiffel Tower, Christian?
I was here 2 days ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was actually just riding my bike around and rode over here.
It's so easy when you're on a bike. You just pop around the city. This is easy. We've done how many? Probably like 10K at this point?
Nearly. I think we're at like 8.
Just generally flat and lovely. Gotta enjoy it. That angle. Nice. Quick Space Invader break. We're heading from the Eiffel Tower to the Arc de Triomphe, which is a little bit of a hill. We have 2 not so bad hills from here. It's basically up to that, and then from there to Moulin Rouge will be a little bit uphill, and then it's downhill from there. So it'll be fantastic. Definitely earning my fancy dinner tonight. Wow, look at that. Anyways, we're at the Arc de Triomphe, which is easy enough. Christian, I have a question that I'm sure is priming a number of comments to be typed right now, and we might as well cut that out. Why aren't you wearing a helmet?
Good question. I usually don't wear a helmet, just kind of cruising around the city. I don't know why. I spent a lot of time in Holland, and in Holland no one wears helmets as well. Anyway, I don't wear one around town. If I'm doing some longer rides outside the city, I definitely wear a helmet.
But is it required?
It's not required. Under 12, so kids have to wear them.
Yeah.
But adults, it's optional. We have them when we do our tours, though.
If you want one when you go on tour, and if they rent you a bike, you can get one too.
Yeah.
The other question that I have is, a 12-year-old doesn't have to, or a 12-year-old does have to?
Well, it's under 12, so,
Under 12, so
11 and under. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're 11 years old, I'm sorry, you have to wear.
That's right.
You have to wear a helmet. This stretch between the Arc de Triomphe and then Montmartre, effectively, there's not a lot to see. But what is nice is that we've got this dedicated central path. Once you get a little bit farther from town, past Parc Monceau, we've got this central double-lane highway for bikes all the way through to where we want to go. And the hill is kind of evened out. I think we've done the heavy lifting, and we're just going to be downhill after this. It's way more fun at night when it's all lit up and moving, but it does the trick. You're here, you can get your fancy shot and then move along. This is Boulevard de Clichy. We're gonna go straight down the middle. We'll be able to see Sacré-Cœur from the bottom. We're probably not gonna go all the way to the top today, and then we're gonna head down towards Opera. Oh Oh, this is awful, yeah. So this is one of the worst parts of the whole city, basically. Right up this street is Sacré-Cœur, which you can see poking out right there. That's the one benefit to using the selfie cam. I can point at things on camera. We're not gonna go up there. We're trying to make good time today and show you how to get here. But if you want to, there are side streets. Don't go up this street. This is Anvers, the metro stop. And if you go straight up this street, it's not gonna work with a bike. You can walk it just fine, but not with a bike. So take one of the side streets, wind your way up. It's not so bad. At least you can get up there and get a nice little photo. And then, I feel like we should at least get a photo at the base. Let's do it. Okay, we're at least gonna go to the base. Definitely worth a little extra effort, even if I didn't want to make it. Christian, we made it.
Did.
We have one little jaunt left. We're gonna go straight back towards the Louvre. We won't show you how to get to the secret tunnel, but if you rent a bike from these guys, you'll be able to get it on the map. Take the secret tunnel.
And it is secret.
Super secret, very secret. It's the Paris's best kept open secrets. I'll show you Maison Maison, which is in the game. If you wanted to stop and have a beer, it's the perfect location. Christian doesn't have time because he's a busy man. He's got to go run a successful tour company. But I'll show you where you could get a beer on the river on your return to drop your bikes off back at the Peloton, and then we'll go back to the Peloton. Honestly, what a perfect day to go for a bike ride. This is amazing. It's gorgeous out here. That's all I have to say. I wanted to get the opera behind me while I was talking. Back to the bike riding. It feels so good. The traffic in Paris isn't that bad. Well, that's not true. They're making it worse all the time. It's actually kind of congested if you're driving a car, but riding a bike, I haven't felt unsafe at any point here, except for when I almost ran into a pole, which was my own doing. And aside from that, Nick Perry Jones.
Jay, how are you, man?
Good, how are you doing? Alrighty, Christian, ready to show us the secret tunnel? I'm gonna try and do this one-handed. For my next trick, I love this thing. This is like my favorite part. So this is Maison Maison. This terrace, I don't know what you'd call it, the thing, where chairs go outside. It's usually filled up with chairs and umbrellas. You can sit here right by Pont Neuf, have a beer. It's the best spot to stop. So if you want to use the route that we used today, this is a great spot to end. Where you pull over, grab a beer, just park your bikes off to the side. You'll get a lock with them if you rent them from Bike About. Sit down, have a nice beer, and then you've got an easy ride along the river all the way back to the Peloton where you can turn your bikes back in. And in the meantime, you can just enjoy all of this. I really wish that we had time to stop and have a beer because this is pretty amazing, but we're gonna go ahead and keep going. So yeah, well, we have one more thing we wanted to show you. We gotta find one more sign we gotta show you, and then we'll go from there. This is the last thing I wanted to show you guys. This is a do not enter sign. Why are we going in this way?
Yeah, so a lot of people ask us, what does that word sauf mean on those signs? It actually means it's forbidden except, sauf means except bikes. So on the street, you'll have one way for cars like this with the yellow arrow, then bikes can go both ways. So it actually allows us to get around the city so much easier.
And that tip right there will save you a lot of pain if you want to go ahead and skip through traffic. Did you miss us, Paul? That was great. I haven't ridden around the city like that in a long time. It was really fun to bounce around. Spend some time with Christian, obviously. What was the final kilometer count? So Christian's gonna send me a link to the route. You can see how long it was. I guessed 18 kilometers when we started.
Well,
and then what did we end up doing?
So 19.7, but we had the tunnel, so I'd say it's even 20.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. We did kind of cheat a little bit there, which you can too. Get out of here, bus. Anyways, thanks for taking me around, man. That was a lot of fun. If you mentioned to Christian or Paul or whoever's working at the Peloton when you come to rent a bike, you saw this video.
Yeah, so 5 euros off a rental. But yeah, just say that you saw Jay and I riding around the city and we'll make that happen.
Get a good deal out of it. I've definitely earned my calories for this fancy dinner tonight, so I gotta go shower now, and then I'll be ready to ingest as many dairy products as possible. All right, showered, shaved, ready to go. Well, sort of shaved, not entirely shaved. Other really quick disclaimer as I head over to what is hopefully gonna be the most delicious cheese experience of my life, if nothing else. I really have no idea what to expect from this dinner. It's apparently it's a private dinner with 10 chefs from 10 different countries in a loft on the canal. It's about all I know. We'll find out here shortly, but the other thing I wanted to say is that we did bend the rules a couple of times to get to a couple of spots along the way, but by and large, our bike route today was 100% above board. We did end up going down, we went down one street the wrong way on accident because we got a little bit turned around. But aside from that, a couple of little things. All good. Anywho, let's head to the canal. I have worked up quite the appetite. I'm ready to eat something. Look at this handsome devil.
Hey mate, how you doing? Fancy seeing you.
Did you enter behind me? How did you get in?
I was waiting for a drink and it took too long. I was like, forget it. I'm not gonna do it.
It's a good start from Ollie here. I might have shown up too hungry for this event. So we finally got the gist of what this is, what's going on. Basically, there are 10 chefs from around the world who are taking French cheese and doing something unique with it to sweeten it. Going from the most savory to the most sweet in that order. We're just gonna bam, bam, bam through a sample of like, but it's gonna be delicious.
Plot twist. I love cheese.
Merci. I've somehow wandered into Chef's Alley here. Dodge out of here. They're getting some sort of briefing. Anyways, tonight was wonderful. I'm probably gonna leave it here. Had a great time. Buy French cheese. That's the whole point of this event. It's worth it. It's delicious. I want to eat more French cheese. 10 in a row. It was satisfying for me, but for Oliver, how was 10 in a row?
Oh, 10. I'd give it 10 out of 10, Jay.
I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning.